Why is everyone getting their mind blown with this new ChatGPT technology? Are we getting a glimpse of the future? Well, stick around to find out. Is man still the most extraordinary computer of all? John F. Kennedy used to think so, but things are rapidly changing. ChatGPT is dominating the internet and is the hottest tech topic right now. What's most interesting about this hot trend is the people's reaction to ChatGPT and who these people are. These are not the people who get excited by every shiny new thing that comes out. If they are this excited, then clearly something big is happening. So what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT stands for Chat-Based Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's a powerful natural language processing tool developed by OpenAI. It's capable of generating human-like text based on a given input. Natural language processing lets virtual assistants like Siri and Alexa understand that when you ask Siri play some rock, Siri understands that you want to listen to rock music. After playing around with it for the last few days, it was easy to understand that using it effectively will become a must-have skill. For engineers, knowing how to communicate to AI interfaces properly will become really important in the coming years. In this video, we'll explore how ChatGPT is already disrupting content creation and software engineering as we know it, as well as some of the threats it brings. 1. Source of inspiration for writing. By providing a few seed sentences or keywords, ChatGPT can generate text that can serve as a starting point for a story article or other written work. This is great because it can help writers overcome writer's block and kickstart their creative process. Here's an example of what this could look like. I asked a chatbot what types of companies will benefit the most ChatGPT. 4 main types of business came up. A. Retail. Chatbots can handle customer queries, freeing up human customer service representatives to focus more on complex time. B. Healthcare. Chatbots can provide patients with information about their medical conditions, treatment options, and appointment schedules. C. Financial services. Chatbots can assist customers with account management and balance inquiries, freeing up human customer service. D. E-commerce. Chatbots can assist customers with product recommendations, order tracking, overall customer experience, and increasing customer satisfaction. In general, companies can benefit from GPT technology by reducing the workload on human customer service and improve overall customer experience. What makes this even better is that ChatGPT remembers the whole thought process, or basically the whole chain of thoughts that you had with it back and forth, and this is really powerful. So next up, I asked what GPT's main limitations were. I wanted to see where the conversation would take me, and this was the answer. 1. Lack of understanding. Chatbots are not able to fully understand the context and intent. Intent is the spicy word in this answer. 2. Bias. Chatbot can exhibit bias due to data they were trained on. This makes one start to think. 3. Limited domain knowledge. Chatbot may not understand specific domains or industries, so their answers may not be accurate or reliable. 4. Difficulty handling novel input. GPT may struggle to generate appropriate responses to novel input that falls outside of the patterns and structures present in the training data. In general, chatbots can be useful in providing information in a natural and human-like way, but they're not a replacement for human judgment and understanding. This point is interesting because we can start to think that man still stands a chance against the machine. I then wanted to ask about the jobs this technology can generate. Everyone else is focused on what jobs are being replaced, so why not focus on what can be created? According to the GPT, this is difficult to predict, but it still gives us some answers. So the use of natural language processing powered chatbots may lead to the creation of new jobs in chatbot design and development, as well as the management and maintenance of these chatbots. It may also lead to the transformation of existing jobs. Now, remember in the last Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie with Johnny Depp, where Charlie's father was first fired from his job as a toothpaste cap placer because the company bought a robot for the job, and then was hired back to repair that same robot? Well, something like that is what will happen here. 2. Collaborating with the tool. Creatives could also use ChatGPT as a collaborator. By providing input and feedback, writers can use it to help them develop their ideas and expand on their work. It's just a great back and forth to explore ideas. 3. Experiment and testing. Chat creatives could use GPT to experiment with language and style. ChatGPT can be used to generate text in different voices. This could be a useful tool for writers who are trying to develop a unique voice or who want to explore new writing styles. I've actually used GPT Chat a lot for this video. I had the idea about what I wanted to write about and how I wanted to connect the dots, and I let GPT Chat to do some of the dirty work, of course with some fine tuning to make it fit my style and adding more thoughts of my own. This, in my eyes, is a revolutionary and disruptive approach to content generation or to content writing and creating in general. I believe the impact of this cannot be overstated. We'll talk about the threats to all of this, but first let's talk about code. So until now we've just covered content. Now let me show you how ChatGPT will disrupt software engineering. It seems to have taken over the entire internet, and particular my Twitter feed. People are asking questions and are feeling concerned and excited. After seeing it with my own eyes, I understand why this is said to be the new coding revolution. Things as crazy as converting a PHP app to next.js just by pasting the code and telling GPT to do it. I've been incredibly impressed, and I think that many of these tools will change the way developers do their work. I don't think they'll replace developers. Someone has to work with a chatbot, and who better than developers to do so? It's just crazy how it can write JavaScript code that generates the Fibonacci sequence or simple everyday stuff like redoing the navigation bar on a website, and you can just paste the generated code into the header of your website. I can also show you an example of our blog, where now many of the blog posts are created with AI, and even some of the images were generated by AI. These are the tools you need to play with if you want to stand out. If you're good with computers, you can pretty much do anything. You just got handed a new insane tool which is free to use, at least for now. Understand it and you have an advantage. Start reading about it and in 2 years you may be average. Ignore it and for the next 5 years you'll probably be very left behind. Remember we mentioned the threats this technology can bring? 1. The real danger is not that computers will begin to think like men, but that men will begin to think like computers. Loss in critical thinking and creativity. One of the downsides of technologies like GPT-3 is that they lack critical thinking and creativity because they can generate text based on a set of inputs. It can make it easier for people to produce content without having to put much effort or thought. This could lead to a situation where people rely too heavily on tools like these, and as a result, their own critical thinking and creative skills begin to deteriorate. 2. Fake information. Another threat is that GPT-3 chat and other similar technologies can be used for nefarious purposes, such as generating fake news or impersonating others online, which can be harmful to individuals and society as a whole. 3. The AI is not always right. The chat may give the wrong answer. Because of man's trust in the machine, wrong information will be living in the internet as facts. We saw this on Twitter when someone asked the chatbot who's the fastest marine mammal, and the answer was the peregrine falcon, a bird. The person and the machine had a whole argument, but the AI just apologized and delivered the same wrong answers. 4. And the last threat is the impact on employment. We talked about this before. I don't think this will replace anyone, but rather create jobs, but this is a point many fear, so I decided to point it out here. I guess the real question we have to ask ourselves is, will creative work be done by AI too? We're grateful for AI to automate simple tasks and free people so they can focus more on complex and creative tasks. But it seems like creative tasks are also being done by AI. Sure, it's just pattern matching basically, but human brains work that way too. Our thoughts are influenced by our experiences. I'm still very optimistic because as machines become more and more efficient, the more man will become innovative, the more we'll be interacting with machines in ways that we can't even imagine.